Hey guys, I thought I would take the time to put together a gazpacho because we are getting into our soup unit. This is a specialty soup, it's a cold soup. In it we've got peeled and seeded tomatoes, there's cucumbers, there are green peppers, there's crushed garlic, there is chilies, I did ancho chilies, and then there's red wine vinegar and there's olive oil. I actually don't have red wine vinegar, so I have apple cider vinegar, so I'm going to use that instead, and we'll add salt and pepper. So this soup is a soup that takes 2 days at least to make, so you need to have all of your vegetables prepped. So before I started filming, I peeled my tomatoes and I squeezed out all the seeds, and I peeled my cucumbers, and I have everything cut down to appropriate sizes. I'm going to put it in this bowl here, and then I'm going to put some salt and pepper on, and I'm going to cover with my dressing, and I'll wrap it in the fridge, and I will puree it tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes then. Put some pepper in here. Some salt. I'm going to let that get a big stir. Alright, so I gave it a big stir, and now I am going to add my olive oil and my vinegar. I also have balsamic vinegar in-house, and some rice wine vinegar, and some sesame oil. Of all of the things that I've got available, I think apple cider is the nicest, so I want something that's light, that's going to bring out the flavors, rather than something heavy like a balsamic, or something incredibly flavored like a rice that's going to completely change the end result. So I picked, I think, the smartest out of what I had. So I'm going to make sure everything is well coated, and I'm going to wrap this up and let it marinate in my fridge overnight, and then tomorrow we'll get back to this and I'll puree it all and plate it up for you. Hey, this gazpacho has sat in the fridge overnight marinating, so I'm going to get ready and puree it. After I puree it, I need to strain it into another bowl. I've got a couple of options for strainers in my own home. One makes more sense in the bowl, and one makes a little less sense. However, the holes are bigger, and I'm going to want the holes a little bit bigger because I do want some things coming through, just not too many. So I'm going to go ahead and puree all of this in batches, and then strain it while I'm pureeing the next batch. Make sure that you have some of your liquid into puree, otherwise it's not going to puree for you. And if it's not working, don't worry about adding more liquid. Just add more liquid, but get it from the bowl, not something else. So I'm going to slowly build my way up to liquefy. So I'm going to start and stir, and then go up. Just going to check my texture. It smells amazing. Still looks like it could probably use a little more. It's kind of chunky-ish. So I'm going to go one more, and again I'm going to start at stir and work my way up to liquefy. Alright, so let's get our next little bit straining. As you see, we just kind of want to hold back as much of the pulp as possible, but in my last puree I might throw this pulp back in there to see if I can get it smaller, because I don't want this too thin. I don't want it to be drinking water. I just want it to be drinking like a fine sort of, I guess, salsa soup is a good way to describe it. Let's throw this lid on, and let's puree this. Again, start with stir, work my way up to it smells so good. I'm gonna start again, stir all the way up to liquefy. Just gotta make sure you're not on the machine for so long that it starts to heat up with your product. All right, so I personally kind of like it with the pulp, so I'll probably add a little bit of pulp in, but I'm still gonna strain it. And then I'm gonna know exactly the texture of the pulp, what the pulp makes it, rather than just leave it all pulpy. So I'll keep straining this, and when I'm done, I'll add some more of that texture back to it until it's the exact texture that I want. I know I've shown a couple of you, but one quick way to put things through strainers is if you use a large ladle and you just kind of circle the strainer. It has a lot of contact with the actual strainer itself, and it works really, really, really fast. But, ooh, texturally, it's actually quite pretty. I'm gonna still add some more though. Let me just taste it. Okay, ooh, that's spicy. Add about this much more. Give it a stir. So I want some of the pulp because the pulp gives it a really good mouthfeel, but I don't want so much pulp. Like I don't want it to feel like I'm drinking a pureed salsa. I want it to actually feel like a soup. Just a little bit more, but it's pretty nice. Let's give this one more whirl. It's feeling good. I'm borderline on the grit there, but it actually has some really nice body. I added chilies to mine. The original recipe doesn't have any, and the recipe I'm giving you has chilies. And it's really nice and well balanced. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. My concern about adding salt is I don't wanna make the chilies too spicy, but I want everything to blend well. So I'm just gonna add a couple pinches more salt. I'm not gonna add any more pepper. Give it a stir. And one last taste, and then I'll plate it up for you guys. It's really nice. It's really refreshing. It needs to be ice cold when you eat it. This isn't exactly ice cold, but I'm gonna finish this plate for you guys. So what I would do to serve this in my restaurant is I would have a little bit of cucumber right on top, and that would be it. Maybe I would give a little bit of whipped seasoned cream, or maybe I would do a little bit of sour cream, but nothing too major because I wouldn't want it to overpower this. I've got some goat cheese that I think would go really, really well with this, but it would completely change the dish, and I don't want to change the dish. I want it to be ta-da, ready to serve as if in my restaurant.